Welcome, guys. Violent here, bringing you a live commentary of Darkspore today. And I apologize in advance because it is live for any pausing that I have to do to fight an enemy. So this is Darkspore. It is a hack and slash RPG made by Maxis, if you can believe that or not. The makers of The Sims. Yeah, freaking Sims. So it's actually not bad. I'm actually really surprised for the amount of money I paid for it. I paid like 30 bucks for it. And it's not bad. It's really not. It's Diablo. It's exactly like Diablo. If anybody's ever played Diablo, is mainly everybody has. The basis of it is to get through levels, collect your loot, survive. These guys are actually, if you can see, like, they're elites because his health bar is red, so that means they're elites. So, and then they just go invincible at half health, so you just have to wait it out. Alright, let's get into the class types. This character that I'm playing is Andromeda. She's my favorite character by far. There's, I think, like 25 different heroes in the entire game. Later on, you can actually switch out their 2 ability here. Like, it changes, like they call them alpha, betas, and all through the different alphabets. So you can change up your characters eventually along once you level up. It's in a sense, it's like summoner levels too, like not character levels in game, but summoner levels outside of the game have levels. I think the max is 100 right now, so as soon as you level up, you unlock new characters and such, and so forth. While I'm here, this is an obelisk. This always drops nice things. This is a catalyst. Catalysts go over here. They're like kind of like your trinkets. This one gives me movement speed, and I have 5 slots total, so might as well pick it up because it's empty anyway. And then these are items you get along the way. White is basic just items, really. They have blues and purples and rarefied oranges. What else? Oh, class types. So this character right here is called a Tempest. It's a caster base character who benefits from mind items that have mind power on them. Mind gives them magic resist and increases their abilities. The next one's the Sentinel class. Sentinel classes are like high health tanking characters. They benefit from strength. Strength gives them straight health and increases their abilities. And then last is a Ravager class. Ravager classes give you dexterity. Dexterity adds crit and dodge to your attacks and increases their abilities. They're mainly like the melees. They're usually melee that run in the battle and just kill everything most of the time. There is one range one too, and I haven't unlocked, like, I still have like 6 more champions to unlock or something, so I still have a ways to go. Alright, let's see about abilities. Oh, before I get off the topic of class characters, there are also biotypes. This is a quantum class that I'm playing. There's quantum, bio, plasma, cyber, what's the last one? Oh, necro, and I think that's it. I think there's 5 biotypes. I could be missing one, but those biotypes are essential to fighting because at the beginning of the game, when you're picking your squad, you have squads. This is my squad down here. I have a plasma guy, and then a necro guy. Your squad is very essential to each level because it shows you what type of monsters you'll be facing. You don't want to pick the same biotype as enemies. See, this one's Cyber. Guy I'm fighting right now is Cyber. If I was using a Cyber character, he will always crit on me, and the crits will be huge. So you don't want to you want to mix up your squads, so in case you run into enemies that are certain resistances, you can always switch between characters, and you can switch between any of these characters at any time. This one's Arachna. He's a Necro character. Necros usually focus more on lifesteal. That's usually their main ability. But this one is a Ravager, ranged Ravager. So I have a lot of dexterity, so a lot of dodges. So he's actually really fun. I like him, but just not my favorite. I like Andromeda. Oh, what else? Oh, so in the middle of it, there's also objectives. You can hit O, and it pulls up all your objectives. The daily, it only activates once when you chain levels. I'm gonna get sidetracked. Chaining in this game is where I'm on, I think, 7-1, and it goes to 7-2 next. There's, I believe, 6 chapters in each difficulty. I'm on invasion mode right now, so this is the first level of the next difficulty up. For anyone who's played Diablo, it's kind of like hell mode. So I'm playing on the next level up. So these mobs are actually hitting at a decent amount. So chaining, at the end of each level, you can either chain or you can collect your loot and leave. If you collect your loot, it adds in how many medals you get, and your medals are based on the objectives. So you have to... depends on who's in your party, if you have a party or not, or if it's just by yourself. If it's by yourself, believe it or not, it's actually really hard. Single player in this game is very hard, and it is just an online game, so it's actually a lot more difficult than with 3 other people. So I'm playing by myself just for the commentary reasons. This was a horde wave. They sometimes trap you in here, and you have to fight them off for the time being. And that little glowing ball that I destroyed mutates other Darkspore is what they're called, into elites to make them harder to kill. So I usually kill those first, but I killed everything too fast, so it was fine. So back to the chaining. If you decide to chain, you go on to the next level, which would be 7-2, and you'll fight mobs there. You don't get to upgrade your heroes. You don't get to put any new items on them. You just go with the whole group. You chain, essentially. So in a sense, it's harder just because you don't get an upgrade, but it's not that bad, really. Later levels, it does get hard. Like, this level used to be really hard when I was just level 60 on my characters, and it's recommended for, like, 69s. So, it was pretty brutal at the time. And you always want to explore every nook and cranny, because I totally forgot where I was going, because I was so distracted in my thoughts. But, yeah, so you can chain, I think, an unlimited amount of time once you buy it from the store. Before you buy it from the store, it's a set amount of how many threat levels. Threat levels are 4 levels, like 7-4, and then it'll go to 8-1. There's only 4 levels per chapter, I want to call it, really. But chaining increases your rate of getting rarefied items. Rarefied items are the really good loot. And throughout all of your leveling, for each of these objectives that you do, it increases your chance to get a rarefied item. At the end, I can show you where it rolls off. It'll roll off, and it'll show you your chance. It'll show your chance of a rarefied item and whatnot. So it's really fun, actually. So you just have to play through it, and it sucks a lot too, because any good game, anybody knows any good game has their flaws. So I'm actually gonna use this to heal. That's a heal that Necros get. It's actually a squad ability. These... let me kill these first before I start showing people things. Okay, so now I have a second to talk. These 3 abilities right here, 3, 4, and 5, are called squad abilities. Squad abilities are shared with your whole squad. Any number of my characters over here can use them. So each character has their own squad ability. This character, Arachna, that I'm playing right now, has this ability that everybody can use. It shoots 3 bolts out, and it does damage based on whether or not you have mind, dexterity, or strength. It'll always go off of a character. It doesn't focus on just this character because it's his ability. My other characters can beef it up. Like Andromeda has a lot of mind powers, so hers is going to hit a lot more than Arachna's. So with that being said, it's very crucial later in games. Like in this level, it's absolutely crucial to have the best squad makeup that you like. I like this one because this one heals me. This one reflects enemies back around you. So if you get a lot of enemies around you that are channeling something, you can knock them all back and interrupt them. And then the 3 ability is when they're up close to you, you can activate it, and it does damage to every enemy around you for 8 seconds. So squad abilities are really essential for later games, and it's really, really awesome to always have a heal in your squad abilities, because then you always survive. Oh, okay, so back what I was saying. Yeah, it's a really fun game, and every fun game has its flaws. So this game has a lot of flaws because it's only been out since February. But even being out since February, it's not that bad. It really isn't. The major flaw that I cannot stand is the matchmaking system in this game. The matchmaker in this game, you have to go to the main deck of your ship that you're on and hit the matchmaker. The matchmaker only lasts for 30 seconds. You can't exit out of it. You just have to sit there. And the only time you can get paired up with somebody is if they're in the matchmaker in that exact same 25 seconds. And unless they're with a party, it only adds one person with you. So really, unless a party queues up into that matchmaker, you're only going to get one partner. So it really sucks. They have a lobby that you can do looking for group in and whatnots, but it's really hard to find somebody that's on your exact same level. So that matchmaker is the number one thing that sucks. The other ones that are in game, sometimes when you go and click on an item, you go to click on it and then you just pause there and you keep reaching for it, but you don't pick it up. So you have to click around and move around it and then get closer to it and click on it again to grab it. And sometimes the map glitches out, which isn't really big. But with the faults, really, there's a couple other minor ones, but for a game that doesn't require a monthly fee, they actually have come out with a patch. I think they've come out with a patch almost every month since the game's been out, which is really badass. For every 4 weeks, they come out with a new game or a new patch. That's pretty awesome. I know a lot of MMOs and stuff that don't even come out with a patch every month. So it's really nice. So they are fixing their stuff. They have adjusted a lot of the Apocalypse mode, which is the next difficulty up from Invasion, which I'm on right now. They've totally just revamped all of that I've seen in every patch, because apparently it was just insane. Like, mobs would crit you no matter what bio class you are. So it was pretty poopy. Ooh, passives. These are your passives over here on the right. These give whatever tune you have selected to your whole party. Since I don't have a party, it just gives it to myself. This one increased projectile speed and projectile damage, which would be really good for range people. So if I had a party, they would get this buff, and I would get their buff. Before I step in, this is the boss portal. This is where you'll face the boss of this level. And yes, every single level has a boss, and he doesn't even always drop loot, which is really crappy. Experience bar, your hero profile. These are like all my items. This has 87 mind, which I am, and like all this resist rating, projectile speed, quantum damage, area effect damage. So I've really beefed up this tune mainly because she's the funnest. I like her the most. So Overdrive. Overdrive is a Super Saiyan in a sense. You hit the space bar and all your abilities have reduced cooldowns. You take less damage. You increase your speed. You increase your damage. Everything gets beefed up completely. But it only lasts for like 4 seconds, 3 seconds. It's really short, and it takes like, depending on how many Darkspore are in each level, it takes like a certain amount of Darkspore killing blows to power it back up. So I usually just save it for the boss. So let's go kill him. It's a horde incoming. They do waves, so these waves will constantly come during the boss too. I think there's like 4 or 5 waves total plus the boss. I usually try to kill the boss first, and oh, I just switched characters on accident. Damn it. I hate when you do that because your character button is QWE to switch characters, and just playing League of Legends, those are your abilities, so I fail in that sense. And switch back. He's not that good. He's my tanking class that I just use when I have to. Yep, there's a purple. Sweet. It's rare to get a purple when you're by yourself. When you're with a group, you have increased chances to